You guys are going to need to excuse me for having my hood on in today's video because it is kind of cold today and I'm comfortable like this. But it's not going to take anything away from the message that I have for you today. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that is really important, that I believe is really important, and that actually changed the way I do business with this venture that I have, which is online arbitrage, and which is more e-commerce, all right? I do not like to say that I'm only doing online arbitrage on Amazon, but I'm more of someone that is in e-commerce. So we are going to talk about the need to have an exit strategy for online arbitrage sellers. Not only the need, but I know that there's a lot of younger guys that do not really know what an exit strategy is, because there's a lot of young guys that just want to make a few extra dollars, and maybe some older guys that are not really into business, but that just want to supplement their income and, have something on the side to make the end of the month a little bit easier, or, just to go on an extra vacation at the end of the year. So we are going to talk a little bit about what an exit strategy is, why I believe that you should have it and not just stay not just stay, just a random reseller reselling random stuff like that, and not actually trying to grow a business. And I'm also going to tell you how it actually changed my way of viewing this business, and how it actually changed how I run this business. Before we actually dive into this, I am now offering one-on-one coaching. So if you need help to scale your Amazon business, link in the description. I can mentor you if you need a mentor. It's just one way to grow super fast if you have the capital, and if you do not necessarily know where you want to go, how to actually run this business. If you want to learn faster, make less mistake, and grow and reach your goal faster, link in the description, book a call with me. Second link, Discord server, best place to meet people actually selling on Amazon, and start networking, because this is one of the things that is going to help you with this business. So link in the description, join the Discord server and come hang out with us. So what is an exit strategy? So essentially, and I'm going to make it super simple, an exit strategy is essentially your plan to actually remove yourself from the business, what you're going to do, or you are going to do it down the road, all right? Just to make it super simple. It is what it is. So if you want to sell, if you eventually want to sell your business, this is how you're going to do it, what you want to do before you reach that point, how you're going to do it, how it's going to be done, all that stuff. And I think that you should always think of, if you run any ventures, you should always think of it as if you were trying to sell, even if you do not necessarily want to sell it. I do not necessarily want to sell my Amazon business down the line. But I believe that it is the goal of your business should be to maximize shareholder value at all time. And if you want to eventually down the road, if you think of how you could eventually exit your business, and you make sure that you can exit your business by selling it down the line, in that way you will actually, I believe, optimize for shareholder value, to maximize shareholder value. This is one of the best way to do it, even if you do not necessarily want to sell your business down the line. So this is what an exit strategy is, and I believe that you should actually have one, because a lot of guys approach actually selling on Amazon and doing online arbitrage just as a hustle, all right? And I believe that this is the wrong way to do it. Anytime you run something because you actually want to make money, you should always see it as a business and build it as such, all right? Not just any random hustle, not just just a way to get an extra $1,000 a month. You should actually see further than that. And the truth is that online arbitrage is not going to stay the same forever, all right? And you want to not diversify, but you want to edge your position. And I believe that if you just run this as a hustle, eventually it's going to start becoming super hard for you, because you are going to run your business one way today that can actually make you an extra $1,000 a month, and competition is going to come. It's going to be more difficult, and you are going to end up like those sellers on the seller forum who used to sell books 10 years ago that used to make money, and who are broke right now, right? They are not making any money right now. If you actually check their storefront, you are going to see that they do not make money anymore, because things are changing. Things are changing fast. Things are going to change for online arbitrage, and it's going to be the same way. If you just keep doing like this, if you are not trying to be professional, if you are not trying to actually build a business, you are going to be left in the dust, right? Because it's going to change. Eventually, it's going to change, and faster than you think, right? It's not going to remain the same forever. All right, competition is gonna come. It's gonna make your life way harder. It's gonna make it way harder for you yourself to make an extra $1,000 a month, every single month, right? So this is why you actually want to build an exit strategy, because you want to actually build a real business that can eventually exit if you need to, and that can run without you. This is the key role. This business needs to actually be able to run without you. And the big thing with online arbitrage, with just arbitrage in general, if you are strictly doing arbitrage on Amazon, is that you are not actually building any brand equity, all right? And so it makes it kind of hard to actually exit this business if you actually want to sell it, all right? It's going to be super hard to sell a business that only do online arbitrage if you are actually the only man in the business, and that everything is actually, coming from you. If you are the only one actually hustling, it's going to be super hard. You cannot sell a hustle, all right? You cannot sell a hustle. You need to build a real business. And so, as I said, it's hard to build because brand equity is one of the big factors, all right? You are not building any brands. Customers do not care about you on Amazon. They are just buying products from whoever has the buy box, right? So, because of that, you're not building any brand equity, and so there's no reason why, especially if you are the only man in the business, and even if you have VAs, but like that, the business actually needs you to run, and that the business cannot, if you cannot be replaced easily, if your business never reached that point, it's going to be super hard for you to actually sell the business. You have no brand, you have no process in place and stuff like that. Does that mean that there's no value that can be added to the business? Does that mean that there's no way to actually sell the business? No, it doesn't mean that. And I believe that there's some values that can actually be built for an online arbitrage business. And it goes through, you will need to, and this is what I'm really trying to do right now, because I think you guys know, if you watch my Road to $100,000 a month series, because yes, my goal with online arbitrage is to run this business. My first goal is to reach $100,000 a month. I'm going to expand a little bit on that a little bit in a few. But my goal is really to actually start really going deeper into some niches, and because if I'm being honest, if I'm being 100% honest, I haven't placed a purchase for 1 week, 10 days, something like that, in between 1 week to 10 days, just because I'm trying to go. I think that at one point, diversification is really for dummies. Yes, diversification, when you start, you should go wide, of course. You should go wide with stuff. But once you start really understanding what you are doing, you should go all in when you see an opportunity. And right now, there's a big opportunity in a specific niche that I want to exploit as much as I can. And that I cannot exploit at its maximal ability because I do not have enough capital. But I can drop all my capital into this opportunity, into that specific niche, into that specific sub-niche that I've talked about in previous videos. But that can actually make me a lot of money without a lot of moving parts. And the truth is that the more moving parts you have, the harder it is to actually build a business, especially if you do not have a lot of capital. Because if you have a lot of capital, of course, yes, you can have a lot of moving parts. But I really want to go all in to really understand specific niche. And I believe that this is where value can be created as an online arbitrage business, because you can have specific SOPs for specific niche that you can actually dominate. If you actually understand what you are doing, all right, you can have a team that know exactly all the websites where you can source shoes, for example, all the websites where you can source athletic shoes, Nike shoes, Adidas shoes, Under Armour shoes, all that stuff. That knows all the websites, that knows all the sales cycle, that know every single model, that know every single pair, that know every single models coming into the market, that can actually forecast demand, supply, that really know a brand like super deep. And so if you can actually build a team with SOPs, with directives, with with all that stuff that make it so that team can work specifically, that team of VA can work specifically in that specific niche and make a lot of money. And I think that this is what from what I've seen, this is what a lot of wholesalers, of big wholesalers, do when they do online arbitrage. They run like shoe operation, they run makeup operation, specifically, like they have operation specifically dedicated to some niches. And I believe that this is where you can actually build value if you are an online arbitrage seller. because if you can build a team, if you can build SOPs and a team that can actually run this business for you without your input, because it is super specific, all right? It goes with a super specific niche. You can have a team that can actually train new people also when they come into the team, and that can run by itself. This is where you can create value, and this is where you can create something that is, when you can create an infrastructure that is easily to scale, and that you can run at scale. Actually, you can run at scale at its maximal ability if you are making 2 to 3 million a year. I'd say, like, if you are making, like, in that space, because I think that this is the ceiling when you run online arbitrage. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you can go further than that. Probably, but I think that you could reach that with staying in one niche like that, or maybe maybe two niche, and really having that structure that can actually work without you, and that someone could potentially actually buy at 2 to 3 times revenue, maybe more than that. All right, and so if you just run online arbitrage just as a hustle and trying to resell anything that you can find that you can put your hands onto, you are never going to reach that goal. And as I said, eventually online arbitrage is going to change. Online arbitrage is going to be more competitive, and only the people that actually run online arbitrage this way are going to be able to make a decent living eventually. It's not now, but I definitely think that it's going to change eventually. And so, as I said, this is what I was doing. All right, I knew a couple of niche before, back when I was in the US, but this is when I reached around $40,000 a month, when I was getting close to $40,000 a month, which was the most I made. And right now I'm under that because I'm trying to, as you guys know, I'm restructuring my business. This is like, I was working a lot, and I was selling whatever I could find, and it's really not. I realized that it was not I wanted to reach $100,000 a month. And I could have reached those $100,000 a month with that model. I probably would have reached it. I would probably be close right now. Like, if I'm being honest, I would probably be close. But it meant that I could not travel. It meant that I could not, that I would work a lot of hours, and that, it's $100,000 a month, yes. But it's $100,000 a month. You cannot remove yourself from the business, like the way I was running my business before. And so thinking about that and thinking of, okay, how am I going to add VAs into this business so I can actually remove myself from the business 100%. I can eventually, exit the business at the end, and I can have an operation that runs lean, that runs perfectly, a well-oiled machine that can actually make money, that is profitable, that I can actually sell. Because the goal is to actually build that machine, and it takes time. And I'm totally fine taking a pay cut. Let's call it like this: taking a pay cut for a couple of months right now, just to be able to do this, instead of running the business the way I was doing it before, and reach 100,000 a month doing this. So this is why having an exit strategy actually changed the way I see this business. Because here's the truth. As I talked a little bit about earlier, it's kind of hard as an online arbitrage seller, if you do not see the business this way, to actually have an exit strategy. Because this is why, I tried a little bit I started moving into wholesale, but I'm not going to move into wholesale right now. Definitely not. I'm going to focus 100% of my change. I changed the way I wanted to do it, and I'm going to focus 100% of my energy on online arbitrage and nothing else for now. But as I said, if you see online arbitrage the way I was seeing it before, and not in the way of actually building a machine that knows a niche really well, super well, and that can actually kill it in one niche or maybe two, and really, really focus on that, knowing all the websites, knowing all the places where you can source, knowing all the sales cycle, taking it, not everything, have a defined calendar, a well-defined list of websites to hit all the time, and keeping track of all the new websites that sell on that niche, etc., and stuff like that, where you can actually find profitable products. Before I was doing that, as I said, I did not really see a way to actually build a real business doing online arbitrage. And I believe that there's one. I believe that there's one way that you can actually build an online arbitrage that can actually have value, that you can potentially sell for more than 1 time revenue, probably 2 to 3 time revenue at least, and which is the way that I described, right? Before that, I thought that the only way was to go to wholesale, because you can build some brand equity if you actually go to the wholesale route. But more specifically, like going the private labeling route, which is still something that I want to do down the line once the online arbitrage stuff is the way I want it to be and is maximized, all right? Because as I said, there's no reason, like, you should not diversify. If you really know your stuff, you should not diversify. The only reason why you would diversify is if you reach the maximum potential in the things that in the thing that you actually really know well. Because of course you cannot make 20 million a year with online arbitrage with one niche, all right? Maybe you can, I don't know, but like there's a point that you cannot cross, all right? And so I really think that, you know, yes, it's easier to do it with wholesale. It's a little bit easier, but definitely if you want to build brand equity, eventually you're going to need to move to private labeling. And those are the two ways, the two easiest ways, and the two most common ways people think about upgrading from online arbitrage. But I think that online arbitrage is really, really scalable, and that you should not see it like this, that you can actually have an exit plan with online arbitrage without necessarily having to move to change your business model. And so I think, yes, as I said, I think that you can actually run this business model. You can run the online arbitrage business model to a point where you know, it can run by itself. You can have an exit strategy. You can potentially sell your business, which, you know, it's way easier. Of course, it's way easier to sell a wholesale business. It's way easier to sell a private labeling business, because if with private labeling you can just sell the brand, you know, and the brand has value in itself. Your brand as an online arbitrage business is never going to have any value. I don't think so. I don't see how you can build brand equity as an online arbitrage seller. But yeah, this is why you should build an exit strategy. This is why you should have an exit strategy. This is how you can build one, by actually maximizing value, by doing this, by knowing a niche super well and going all in that niche and really have deep knowledge of that niche instead of having a little bit of knowledge about everything. And of course, expand to another niche once you are maxed out, or once you are close to be maxed out. But yeah, this is why I think you should have an exit strategy. This is how to build an exit strategy. And this is something, because I know I like to do videos for beginners, but I like to do videos that are a little bit more advanced as well. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to say regarding that. I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you tomorrow, because there is a new video every day on selling on Amazon, all right? So subscribe, like, do all that stuff. Watch these videos on the screen. If you want to keep learning about selling on Amazon, I have videos that are more for beginners. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.